Hey everybody, this is Garrett from the Ascent Performance Group, and today I want to talk to you about a book entitled Wellbeing. It's subtitled The Five Essential Elements, and it was written by Jim Harter and Tom Rath. And the book was written in 2010, and at that point in time, well-being was just being researched. They'd done a ton of research on this. I think it's something very valuable for companies to take a look at today, and for all of us to take a look at. So what's well-being? It's about the combination of our love for what we do each day, the quality of our relationships, the security of our finances, the vibrancy of our physical health, and the pride that we take in what we've contributed to our communities. Most importantly, it's how all five of these interact. There's an assessment called the Wellbeing Finder, and if you buy the book, you get a code to take that on the website. So in one of the research studies, they found that 66% of the people are doing well in only one of the elements, while only 7% are thriving in all five of the elements. So that begins, the first section is based off the five elements, and the first element is career well-being. Only 20% of people can give a strong yes to say, do I like what I do every day? And then the odds of having high well-being in other areas just rapidly diminishes if you don't enjoy what you do every day. So it becomes very key that we enjoy the job or the work that we're doing every day. A study found by the Economic Journal discovered that unemployment may be the only major life event that people fully don't recover from for 5 years. On well-being, you recover faster, they found, from the death of a spouse. Very interesting. Being disengaged at work appears to be a leading indicator of subsequent clinical diagnosis of depression. So if you don't like your job, it can lead to actually depression, is what they're showing in these studies. It's most important for maintaining good health is liking your job. If your manager is primarily focused on your strengths, the chance of being disengaged is just 1%. So if you have a manager that is focused on your strengths, you're going to be very engaged in your job. And this is very important for us as employers to know too. If you don't use your strengths at work, you get burned out after 20 hours of a work week. So if you're working 20 hours per week, you can get burned out if you're not using your strengths every day. And people who use their strengths, and this is the Clifton Strengths, the 34 strengths, they're 6 times as likely to be engaged in their jobs and more than 3 times as likely to have an excellent quality of life. So if you're using your strengths, you're going to be more engaged at work and you're going to have a better quality of life. So there's 3 recommendations at the end of the chapter, and those 3 recommendations are: use your strengths every day, spend more time with someone who encourages your growth, opt into more social time with people and teams you enjoy being with around work. We're going to talk about that, but social time is very important. Actually, right now, social well-being. The odds of being happy increase by 15% if a direct connection in your social network is happy. So if somebody that you hang around with is happy, you have a higher instance of being happy as well. So each hour of social time that we spend decreases the likelihood of us having a bad day. So if you want to have a good day, have more social time is what they found. In a study of more than 15,000 people, over 50 found that among those who were socially active, their memories declined at a rate of less than half of the rate of those who are less social. So if you're over 50, you definitely want to be social, keep that memory. Only 30% of employees have a best friend at work. And this is, if you've ever heard of Q12, this is one of the questions that they ask. And you're 7 times as likely to be engaged in their jobs if they have a best friend at work. So they're better at engaging customers, produce higher quality work, and they have a less chance of getting hurt at work. There's only a 1 in 12 chance of someone being engaged in their work if they don't have a best friend at work. So at the end of this chapter, there's 3 recommendations. 1, spend 6 hours socializing with family, friends, colleagues via phone, email, or other communication methods, and face-to-face every day. Strengthen mutual connections in your network and mix social and physical time. For example, go on a walk with your spouse or with a friend. So that gives you time where you can talk, but also creates physical activity. Financial well-being. Money can increase your happiness in the short term. A team of Harvard researchers found that spending on oneself, so if you spend on yourself, doesn't boost our well-being. spending on others does increase our well-being. It also increases our happiness. So spending money on things they found that only increases happiness in the short term. However, spending money on experiences like vacations, dinners out, those type of things create and increase our well-being. And they found that managing our finance well, we all know this, allows us to do what we want to do when we want to do it. So they encourage managing finances well. So at the end of this chapter, the 3 recommendations were: buy experiences such as vacations, spend on others instead of solely on material possessions, and establish a default system like having automatic payments for your payments and also for money going into retirement and those type of things. So physical well-being is the 4th one. And one of the things suggested here is to buy fruits and vegetables that have darker tones, the reds, the blues, the greens. And they found that over 400,000 Americans surveyed in this survey, only 27% of them got 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week or more. So 70 trials were shown that exercising is more effective actually to eliminate fatigue than prescription drugs. Exercise is also found to boost your confidence. And that's probably from the well-being standpoint, also from the standpoint of looking and feeling good. And then there is something to that, something to sleep on it. And to sleep on it, they found that in a study that there was a problem that was given, and they're given a really difficult way to calculate how to solve this problem. And they were told that there was an easier way to solve the problem. And there was 2 sessions. And one group slept between the sessions and another group didn't sleep between the sessions. And the group that slept between the sessions was 2.5 times more likely to figure out the problem than the group that didn't sleep. Another finding is that people that sleep 7 hours or less are 3 times more likely to get a cold than those that get at least 8 hours of sleep. And then the 3 recommendations at the end of the chapter: get 20 minutes of activity every day, sleep 7 to 8 hours a night, and the average American only gets 6.7 hours of sleep a night, so try to get that 7 to 8, and load up on natural foods that are red, green, and blue. And then community well-being, the 5th essential factor, can be the differentiator between a good life and a great life. Once you feel a sense of security, the next factor is where do you live? And that's something that's location, and that would be a good fit for your personality, your family, your interests, and your other pursuits. And then one of the findings that they found with community well-being is there's nothing as good of gift, as valuable a gift as our time. And in a survey of over 23,000 people, 9 in 10 in the report reported getting an emotional boost from doing kind things for people. So doing kind things for people, if you want to get an emotional boost, the study shows that that's a way to get it. And at the end of the chapter, there's 3 recommendations. Identify how you can contribute to your community based on your personal mission. Tell people about your passions and interests so they can connect you with other people and causes. And opt into a community group or an event. So there's a section, the final 2 sections are on final thoughts, and then there's a section on excellent resources that go over a lot of the studies that were done for the book and the research that was done. So I am a certified strengths coach. I'm also trained in doing Q12. So if you'd like to learn more about Clifton Strengths or employee engagement, contact me at coachjeffgarrett@gmail.com or my website, www.theascentperformancegroup.com. And remember to be great.